Alright guys, welcome back to ErebosGamingHD. Now what a fight we've got today. So if you watched the last video, I fought this exact same guy and I wanted to fight him again purely because it was a very close fight and I would have lost if the fight had gone on. So this fight, I'm starting it on round 3 and you can see that I'm being a lot more cautious. I'll be a lot more cautious from the start, but I'm trying not to get into them sort of dog fights where I lose my stamina. But his body shots are so vicious, and you see there, he caught me with that shot and just unbelievably, straight away, round 3, he puts me straight on the floor. Now, I'm thinking to myself, you can imagine what I'm thinking to myself. The last fight was immensely close, and then I fought him again, and he's put me down in round 3. So I'm like not impressed at the minute, and this is seriously now looking like it's gonna be my first loss. So, you know, I got lucky last time. Luckily I won on points. I would have lost if the fight had continued because my stamina was just so drained, and he'd recovered so well. So this fight sort of become a dog fight really early on, and I was fighting so cautiously for rounds 1 and 2. And to be fair, I think I was doing really well. I mean, you look at his health for round 3. That's pretty good going, to be honest. I've drained, you know, a good portion of his health down in 2 rounds. And if this sort of rate continues, I obviously would have been doing really well. But that him putting me down then means that he's almost definitely won round 3 unless I can knock him down. So it's almost sort of works to my advantage a little bit because I'm sort of thinking I can't win this round anyway. So all I'm going to try and do is just be precise, make sure I land the shots, and make sure that I don't make it any worse for myself. Got to obviously be aware of those power punches that he's throwing, and he's landing really quite accurately with them all the time. And you know, sometimes you get a guy like this, he's sort of like, you know, he's sort of one of them people that like you come across and they just seem to do really well against you, and there's no real reason why that you can see. It's just that they sort of have your sort of, I don't know, the antidote to your poison kind of thing. You know, they just seem to quell everything you do, they seem to counter everything you do, and not necessarily with counter punches, I don't mean like that. I just mean, you know, if I'm throwing the sort of the jabs and the straights, they're throwing just the right length uppercuts, just the right distance hooks, and they're landing, you know, really quite consistently. Now, this guy's health is significantly dropped. You see that all I'm doing is just pounding his head every single time. We've moved on to round 7 now. We've skipped ahead a few rounds, and you can see that his health has just dropped so much. I've just been doing this for the whole fight since I've been knocked down. All I'm doing is when he gets close, just jab straight to the head, jab straight to the head. As soon as he gets really close, I'm sidestepping, hooking, and I'm just making sure I clobber his face. I'm just getting that health down. That's all I want to do is just get that health down. You can see, obviously, we've skipped ahead to round we've skipped ahead to round 7. Sorry, my voice broke a bit there. We've skipped ahead to round 7 purely because this is where the fight gets really interesting, in my opinion. Me obviously getting knocked down was the time I got knocked down in the fight, and you know, had to show that. The rest of it is just basically this. It's just been this for the last few rounds. It's just been me just making sure I don't waste any undue stamina, making sure he doesn't land too many of them good body shots, and all I'm doing is just ploughing him with headshots. That's all I'm doing is just headshots, and I'm just trying to get that health as low as possible. We've got a few more rounds to go. My stamina's looking so much better than it was last time. My health's looking so much better than it was last time. And the knockdown that he did to me probably helped me, because if he didn't knock me down, there's a good chance I'd have followed the fight through and ended up similar to last fight, because this character that I'm facing, he isn't a real boxer, but he's however he was designed on this game, completely randomly, he's just a really, really effective fighter. The AI that he's got set is just so efficient, and he, as you can see, you know, when you get close, he's just looking for them hooks, looking for them uppercuts, and they do a lot of damage. As you can see, I've won all rounds except for the one where I was knocked down on. So, you know, I can almost forgive myself for that. Yeah, I was knocked down, I got put to a flash stun, and it lost pretty much all my health. There was no way I could have really have survived it. Any shot would have put me down, other than a jab, obviously. So, you know, just one of them things. Obviously, I put that behind me now, and I'm just going for the knockout. I need to knock this guy out just for my own sanity. I don't want this to go to points again, where it could be like, you know, what if there was another couple of rounds. I want to make sure that I can put this guy out of there. because at the end of the day, if I'm going for constant wins, this guy needs to be gone. So you can see there, caught him with a lovely shot, and there you go. Get on your back, son. You can see he couldn't even raise his arm there fast enough. You know, I couldn't have done this last fight. I didn't have the stamina, and his health was too far regenerated. So, you know, obviously a big improvement. He's knocked me down, I've knocked him down. The last fight, nobody got a knockdown. So, a much more exciting fight this time. Obviously, people in the last video thought it was pretty intense. Well, this one's crazy intense because, well, at least it was for me, because, you know, we've both got a knockdown now. Somebody's going to go, and you know, maybe it isn't so sort of close. So perhaps that takes away a little bit of the anxiety, I suppose. But you know, knowing that he can just finish me with one shot and just put me on critical stun, that's not a good sign. But obviously, as you know, fighting out players yourself, I'd imagine that once you start laying the heat on these guys when their health's low, they don't throw a lot of punches back. So, you know, all you've got to really do, you can see he's just putting himself in that sort of defensive guard. He's not coming out of it. He'll probably only throw 1 or 2 shots at maximum now in a sort of row. If I start throwing, he'll stop throwing almost straight away. You can see there, he didn't chase me when I hit him with them 2 shots. He just basically stood there and just kept his guard up until his health regenerated. And, you know, this is what you want. You're in full control. You're in complete control of the fight. And, you know, knowing that someone's going to get knocked out, you can almost be assured that it isn't going to be yourself. So, really, really good news. And that's the end of round 8. So, you can see he got an amazing recovery percentage again. And that stamina of his, you've just got no hope of getting that stamina down unless you just lay him with body shots. I can't lay him with body shots because I'm too tall of a fighter, and once I start trying to go for that body, he's just going to start clipping me around the head with hooks and straights and fucking God knows else what. You know, it's just going to be a bloodbath in there if I start going for his body. So all I can do is just try and get the health down. And I really want to knock this guy out as well. You can see there, he's really low. He threw too many punches, and that was it. That's it, caught him with that shot. And you can see, he just couldn't get his arms back up in time. I mean, he tried, to be fair, but he had to throw punches. If he didn't throw punches, then he's got no chance of winning the fight, sort of thing. And the only reason the computer will actually still throw a punch or 2 is because their stamina is pretty high. If their stamina was low as well, this guy would just be standing there with his guard up, and you know, not much would go down. So that's 2 knockdowns for me, 1 knockdown for him. And you can see as it goes on, it's just, he gets less and less effective. And to be honest with you, I'm quite proud of this sort of performance, to be able to sort of jump in the fight and, you know, fighting a guy that I pretty much just lost to straight after. You know, no messing around. I didn't like wait a while or whatever. I went straight into the fight with him again and just thought, yeah, one of his, you know, I'm either going to win again more decisively, or I'm going to lose, and you know, all will be restored, because I did feel as though that last fight, I don't really feel like I should have won it. Even though I won on points, I was in such bad shape that, you know, another round, 1 more round, and I'd have been really struggling. Another 2 more rounds, I'd have never have made it. So, you know, I'm just really happy that I was able to sort of punish this guy enough to, you know, go for this knockout. And you see here, he's just all over. There's nothing he can do. You know, his health's way too low. He's got another round to survive, and there's just no chance. See if he gets up. Nah, he ain't going nowhere. That's it. 3 knockdowns, a knockout win, which is obviously what I wanted. I just wanted to win more decisively than that last one. The last one was just a real pain in the arse, to be honest with you. You know, it wasn't good. But, you know, at the end of the day, we got the win. We know we can beat that guy. Won't be fighting him again though anytime soon, that's for sure, unless he gets mandatory. You can see I didn't throw any left uppercuts, no right ups, no right uppercuts, no powers. I threw a few counters, landed 80% of them, but that 60% punch accuracy is what's done it for me. And his on only 49%. That's still pretty damn good for a computer, considering that my old game plan is to stay away from being hit. So even whilst I'm trying my best not to be hit, which obviously everybody is, but that is my whole game plan, and he's obviously still hitting me, so he was obviously quite a good fighter. You can see my wins have gone up to 19, My rank hasn't changed. I fought the same guy, which is not surprising. We can't see the rest of the stats here because that guy is obviously logged in. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you on the next one.